Hey, this is BirdP. I'm running a time lapse while looking at the outside of my villager hotel, and I wanted to do this to show you the main effect I was going for. I wanted a natural way to get an idea of the vacancy of the hotel. So eventually you'll see that night will fall, and the villagers will not only go to their rooms in the hotel, but they'll turn on the lights as they enter the room in a very natural way that you'd come to expect from like a building in a city when night falls. So here they come, night's falling, and they're starting to enter their room. I'm actually surprised how well this worked, even with the few villagers I had. So the other cool thing that I thought was worth showing you while I was shooting this same time lapse was that there's this villager in this lobby here. So I found out that the zombies can actually hit the villager through the glass panes, which can be a really bad thing if it manages to convert him into a zombie. So I definitely need to build a fence around this place. But the cool part was when he was tired of taunting the zombies from the lobby, he runs up to a room and you can actually see which room he chooses because he turns on his light, and then you can see him look through his window at the zombies down below, just continuing to taunt them. So like I said, I thought it worked much better than I expected. So I feel okay about recommending a build like this to you. So if any of you want to make something like this, I'll give you a tour of my villager hotel and share a few critical tips I learned while I was building it. I'll tell you about villager distribution so that they're more or less evenly distributed throughout the hotel, how I built the rooms so that they always trigger the lights, and finally how I managed to turn this into a functional village recognized by the villagers. So let's just go inside. First off, I wanted a sturdy door that the villagers couldn't activate by themselves. As much as I would like to give them freedom, I think it's safer for them to stay inside, so I used a button rather than a pressure plate or tripwire to enter. Inside you will see that I made this 5 stories tall, with doors only on the top 4 floors, so there are no doors in the lobby which forces them to go up. I also used a water elevator, and I know they're amazingly slow methods of vertical travel, but it works really well for this build because not only does it look aesthetically pleasing, but the villagers can and do use it. The nice part about them using it is it continuously cycles the villagers to the top floor. They don't seem to be able to exit on any other floor, but they enter from every floor and it'll always send them to the top. Then the stairs on either side of the hotel will redistribute them, trickling them down to the lower floors. Here they go. That's awesome. Next, this is how I build the rooms so that the villagers will always turn on the lights while they're in the rooms. This is why it's a 3-star hotel, because they don't have much room. And the reason it's so small is, for one, I can build a lot of them on each floor, but they also always stand on the tripwire that triggers the lights. Since the tripwire hook itself doesn't trigger the light, they need to be covered by a block so that they stay on the wire. I put a bed here also to block them from walking away from the wire. Now it's possible that they walk within the door space, so you can place the door from the inside so that it forces them to stay on the wire, but I found it's unnecessary since they always seem to walk all the way into the room and on the wire. Finally, to make this hotel a functional village so they actually go into the rooms, it's critical that the inside of the hotel have a clear view of the sky, so use transparent blocks. And there needs to be fewer opaque blocks over the outside of the door than on the inside. So for example, in this room, there are 2 blocks on the inside of the room plus 1 more block, which is the wall of the hotel. So there are a total of 3 blocks over the inside of the door. So this means there needs to be 2 or less non-transparent blocks on the outside. And so I just used these 2 blocks that I had to work with as the walkway for each of the floors. And that's it. Once you add the villagers, you'll have a functional villager hotel with a natural looking vacancy indicator on the outside of the hotel. So thanks for checking out my video.